It began quietly, just a flicker on a deep space monitoring system in Chile, then a spike in infrared readings from an orbital telescope. What looked at first like a rogue asteroid soon defied all expectations. The object was moving too fast, on a straight, purposeful trajectory, and it was slowing down. That was the first sign. This wasn't a natural object. It was a ship, and it was heading straight for Earth. Within hours, space agencies around the world, NASA, ESA, Roscosmos, CNSA, detected the anomaly. Hidden behind closed doors and encrypted channels, the world's top astrophysicists confirmed the unthinkable. Intelligent life from another star system had arrived. It was the greatest discovery in human history, yet also the most terrifying. The vessel was unlike anything humanity had ever imagined. Hundreds of kilometers long, it emitted no detectable propulsion exhaust. It glided through space as if gravity didn't apply. At its center was a rotating core, flanked by glowing structures that pulsed with unknown energy signatures. Radio scans revealed no familiar communication patterns. Whatever intelligence piloted this ship, it didn't want to be found, or it didn't care to speak. Within days, world governments called for silence. The public was told it was a passing comet. Only top-level military officials and scientists knew the truth. Earth was being approached by a possible hostile force. A hastily formed global task force was established, comprised of military strategists, theoretical physicists, engineers, and cryptographers. The United Nations created a covert branch known as Operation Sky Shield. Its mission: to observe, analyze, and, if necessary, defend Earth. Meanwhile, strange things began happening around the world. Earth's magnetic field experienced small, localized disturbances. Tides shifted slightly off rhythm. A growing chorus of amateur astronomers began asking questions, having noticed the comet wasn't following orbital physics. Social media was flooded with blurry videos and strange sky patterns, only for them to be removed or discredited within hours. As the object approached the moon's orbit, it began to slow dramatically, coming to a near halt on the dark side of the moon. Satellites were immediately repositioned to monitor its behavior. Drones were sent from the International Space Station and a decommissioned lunar base. All returned with either corrupted data or were lost entirely. Whatever the ship was, it had defenses, powerful ones. Then came the breakthrough. A small group of linguists and AI researchers in Japan picked up on a faint repeating signal embedded in the cosmic background radiation. It wasn't in any known language, but it had structure, symmetry, purpose. It was a countdown. Panic spread within the closed walls of Operation Sky Shield. Theories ranged from orbital deployment to energy weapon activation. Some argued it was a colonization vessel preparing to land. Others believed it was a weapon designed to wipe out human resistance in one blow. There was no time left to debate. Humanity had to act or risk extinction. The aliens had made their move. And before they reached Earth would need to strike first. While the world's population remained largely in the dark, Operation Sky Shield worked around the clock. High-powered telescopes, deep space scanners, and quantum decryption algorithms focused on one goal: understanding the alien ship's purpose before it acted. Humanity stood on a knife's edge, and every second counted. The countdown signal, discovered in the background radiation, continued to tick down, its structure growing clearer. Mathematicians noticed that the signal was embedded with prime, number sequences, and geometric harmonics, signs of intelligent design. But deeper analysis revealed something far more troubling. The countdown wasn't just marking time. It was syncing with Earth's rotation and orbital position. Whatever the ship was planning, it was timed to Earth's location in space. It wasn't waiting, it was preparing. Speculation ran wild within Sky Shield's inner circle. The vessel, now dubbed Oblivion Arc, showed no signs of communication, no visible crew, and no effort to scan Earth with known sensors. Yet its effect on space was undeniable. It disrupted long-range communications, bent gravity slightly, and caused brief power fluctuations in orbiting satellites. It was clear. The ship possessed an energy field far more advanced than anything humans had imagined. Then came the first encounter. A deep space drone launched from a classified military outpost near Mars was sent to make close-range observations. As it neared the alien ship, it was immediately intercepted. Not destroyed, but hijacked. The drone's signal was overridden and redirected back to Earth, transmitting a chilling image. A holographic projection of Earth wrapped in digital chains. A clear warning, or perhaps a declaration. The message sparked heated debates among global leaders and scientists. Was it a threat, a demonstration of power, or a message lost in translation? What concerned them most was the simplicity of the image. No ambiguity, no misunderstanding. The aliens saw Earth as a target, and they had the tools to take it. At the same time, strange anomalies began appearing around the globe. Weather patterns shifted in unnatural ways. Earth's magnetic poles showed sudden, localized instability. Seismologists reported tremors, with no tectonic source. Satellites monitoring the moon revealed faint activity beneath the lunar surface, possibly emanating from the ship itself. But the most chilling discovery came from a team of theoretical physicists who managed to partially decode the energy signature around the alien vessel. It was not just a shield or propulsion system. It was a terraforming field, capable of manipulating planetary environments on a massive scale. The conclusion was devastating. Oblivion Arc wasn't just coming to destroy Earth. It was coming to remake it. With this knowledge, urgency turned into desperation. The countdown was approaching its final phase. Humanity could no longer afford to wait for peaceful intentions. All evidence pointed to one conclusion: conquest. Silent, efficient, and methodical. Backed by this data, world leaders approved the activation of Project Black Horizon, a last resort defense initiative that had existed only on paper until now. Its goal: intercept and destroy the alien vessel before it could complete its countdown. As military engineers began constructing a prototype weapon capable of reaching the alien ship, scientists worked to understand every possible weakness in the vessel's structure and behavior. It was a race against time, and the odds were stacked heavily against humanity. The invaders had made no demands, no promises, no mercy. They had simply arrived, and their silence was the loudest threat of all. With the countdown nearing its final phase and the alien ship still positioned ominously near the far side of the moon, humanity had no choice but to act. The last traces of diplomacy and hope had evaporated. No communication had been established. No explanation offered. The alien vessel, Oblivion Arc, waited in silence, projecting only menace. Whatever was coming, it was coming soon. Under the command of Operation Sky Shield, the world's most brilliant minds convened in secret underground labs, orbital stations, and off-grid research centers. Engineers, physicists, and military strategists united to bring Project Black Horizon to life. Earth's first, and possibly last, attempt to destroy a hostile extraterrestrial ship. The centerpiece of the plan was a revolutionary weapon, AI, massive electromagnetic pulse, EMP device engineered to detonate in space and shut down any electronic systems within a wide radius. Traditional weapons were deemed useless against the unknown materials and shielding of the alien vessel. Nuclear warheads might not even scratch it, but a massive, multi-phased EMP could disrupt the ship's systems, disable its defenses, and potentially send it spiraling into lunar orbit or crashing outright. The problem? The weapon didn't exist, yet. What followed was a frantic international collaboration unlike anything seen before. Dozens of countries secretly pooled resources. AI-designed components were 3D printed in underground labs. An abandoned lunar base in the Shackleton crater, dormant for years, was reactivated under tight military control. This base would serve as the launch platform for the EMP weapon, keeping it just close enough to the alien vessel to deliver a crippling blow. But time was running short. The countdown had less than 5 Earth days remaining. As scientists and engineers raced to assemble the weapon, new dangers emerged. The alien vessel began deploying what appeared to be unmanned drones, sleek, fast-moving objects that patrolled around the ship like hornets guarding a hive. They began moving toward Earth's orbit in small, deliberate formations. Sky Shield's surveillance systems recorded several drones mapping the trajectories of human satellites, which were then mysteriously disabled or destroyed. Humanity's window of action was closing. Despite the threat, construction of the EMP weapon, now codenamed Lance of Dawn, progressed at breakneck speed. Sleepless technicians operated under intense pressure, driven by the knowledge that failure would mean planetary extinction. Supplies were rushed via stealth shuttles launched from Earth, while AI-assisted simulations tested hundreds of detonation scenarios. Meanwhile, elite teams of astronauts and space marines trained for an unprecedented mission: escort the EMP to its launch site, defend it from any alien interference, and activate it in coordination with the final moment of the countdown, when the alien vessel would be most vulnerable. Back on Earth, the public still knew nothing. Official channels continued to blame satellite failures and odd atmospheric behavior on solar storms. But rumors were spreading. Amateur astronomers had spotted strange lights near the moon. Whistleblowers hinted at classified defense programs. Tension rippled across the globe, and through it all the countdown continued. Silent, steady, merciless. Everything hinged on Lance of Dawn. It was humanity's last card. One shot, one strike before the invaders made their move. If it failed, Earth would fall. The day arrived with a tense stillness that hung over Earth like a thick fog. After months of secret preparation, Project Black Horizon was ready to move from theory to action. The massive EMP weapon, Lance of Dawn, now fully assembled and loaded with its devastating power, rested inside the lunar base's launch bay. The astronauts and space marines chosen for the mission were tense but determined. They knew the fate of the planet rested on their shoulders. As the alien ship, Oblivion Arc, maintained its position on the moon's far side, its surrounding drone fleet began a pattern of increasingly aggressive patrols. It was clear the aliens were not passive observers, but active defenders of their vessel, prepared for a fight. Satellite feeds captured brief glimpses of these drones darting toward Earth's orbit, some engaging with human defense satellites and space stations. At mission control on Earth, the countdown to launch mirrored the alien countdown still ticking, away in the background. Scientists and military commanders worked in unison, synchronizing every system. The plan was simple but dangerous. Launch Lance of Dawn from the lunar base, guide it into a precise trajectory near the alien ship, and detonate the EMP at the perfect moment, disabling the vessel's systems and forcing it into a vulnerable state. The launch was flawless. The weapon's propulsion system carried it out of the lunar base with incredible speed and precision. For the first time in history, humanity sent a weapon directly to confront an alien threat beyond the Earth. But the battle had just begun. As Lance of Dawn closed in on the alien ship, the drone swarm launched an all-out assault. Hundreds of drones swarmed the weapon's approach, firing bursts of energy and attempting to disable its guidance systems. The space marines aboard nearby escort ships engaged in fierce dogfights, exchanging blinding beams of laser fire and missile barrages with the alien drones. The fight was chaotic and brutal, with losses on both sides. Despite the heavy resistance, the weapon held its course. The shield around the alien ship flickered as the drones struck. But the vessel itself remained intact, its defenses too strong for small attacks. Then came the critical moment. With precision timing, Lance of Dawn activated its EMP core. A massive pulse of electromagnetic energy radiated outward, flooding the space around the alien ship in a blinding wave of power. The pulse disrupted the alien vessel's electronics, knocking out power to its propulsion systems and energy shields. Drones lost control, spinning out into the void. The ship, suddenly vulnerable, began to tumble in lunar orbit. Its massive frame scraped against the thin atmosphere of the moon's exosphere, debris shedding as systems failed. Space Marines watched, in awe and horror, as the once imposing invader turned into a helpless, drifting husk. The victory was not without cost. Several escort ships were lost, their crews sacrificed to protect Lance of Dawn's mission. The EMP device itself had exhausted, most of its power and could no longer maneuver. It was a one-way trip. As the alien ship descended uncontrollably, crashing into the dark side of the moon, a grim silence spread through the command centers. Humanity had won the battle, but the war might just be beginning. The wreckage of oblivion. Ark lay silent, but questions lingered. Was this truly the entire invasion force or merely a scout? Would others come? And what secrets lay buried in the alien technology now resting beneath the moon's surface? For now, Earth had bought itself time, but the stars held many mysteries yet, and many dangers still to come. After the fierce battle in lunar orbit, the alien vessel, Oblivion Ark, was left crippled and tumbling uncontrollably toward the moon's surface. As it descended, a massive cloud of debris trailed behind it, a glowing testament to the destructive power of humanity's last-ditch effort. The ship's fall was both a relief and a new source of profound uncertainty. The impact site was on the moon's far side, hidden from Earth's direct view. This remote location, long a mystery itself, became the focus of intense scrutiny. Telescopes and satellites trained their sensors on the crash zone, desperately searching for any signs of alien activity or survivors. When the ship struck, the explosion shook the moon's surface, throwing dust and rocks into space and causing tremors that registered even on Earth. The crash was massive, leaving a scar visible even from low Earth orbit. Yet, despite the devastation, no subsequent movement was detected from the wreckage. It was as if the alien vessel had been completely incapacitated. For the first time, humanity could begin to study the alien technology directly. But the task was daunting. The sheer scale of the ship was staggering, its hull made of unknown alloys and materials, resistant to conventional scans. Communication systems and energy cores were dormant, and it wasn't clear if any life forms remained inside. A multinational mission was swiftly organized, combining the best astronauts, engineers, and scientists from around the globe. Their goal was to land on the moon's far side, establish a base near the crash site, and recover as much alien technology as possible. The mission, dubbed Operation Lazarus, was not only a chance to gather intelligence, but also a necessity. If the ship's systems were reactivating or if there were survivors, Earth needed to be ready. The journey to the crash site was tense and filled with uncertainty. As the astronauts approached, they encountered strange electromagnetic anomalies that interfered with their instruments. Radiation levels were unpredictable, and the very environment around the wreckage seemed to warp space and time in subtle ways. Upon landing, the team found the ship's hull cracked and twisted, with openings, revealing a dark labyrinthine interior. They moved cautiously inside, encountering chambers filled with technology beyond human understanding. Floating data cores, pulsating power conduits, and intricate machinery that defied Earth's laws of physics. As they explored deeper, faint signs of alien presence emerged, evidence of life support systems, signs of habitation, and remnants of an advanced ecosystem engineered for the ship's crew. But there was no sign of living beings. Had they escaped, or were they lost in the final moments of the ship's fall? The recovered data provided both hope and fear. It revealed that Oblivion Ark was likely a scout ship, part of a larger armada sent to survey and prepare Earth for invasion. The countdown had been a timer for an assault force that was still en route. Earth's victory, while monumental, was only the beginning. Back on Earth, the implications of this discovery sent shockwaves through governments and scientific communities. Humanity had defeated an invader, but the threat was far from over. Preparations for further defense were accelerated, alliances deepened, and plans drafted for the inevitable return of the alien fleet. The crew of Operation Lazarus also uncovered mysterious artifacts, devices that hinted at technologies that could alter gravity, manipulate matter, or even bend time. Whether these would be a boon for humanity or a danger in themselves remained unknown. As Earth looked to the stars, a new era dawned. The fall of the alien ship was a victory, but it also marked the start of a far greater challenge, one that would test humanity's resolve, ingenuity, and unity like never before. With the alien ship Oblivion Ark shattered on the moon's far side and the initial threat seemingly neutralized, humanity entered a tense and uncertain new chapter. The victory was profound but fragile. The realization that the fallen vessel was likely a scout, rather than the main force, sent shockwaves through governments, scientists, and civilians alike. Operation Lazarus had uncovered not just wreckage but invaluable technology, devices, and data unlike anything ever seen on Earth. These artifacts held the potential to revolutionize human understanding of physics, energy, and space travel. However, alongside excitement came caution. The alien technology was deeply complex, sometimes unstable, and often incomprehensible. Scientists worked tirelessly to decode the cryptic information stored in floating data cores and to safely harness any technology that could aid Earth's defense. Meanwhile, world leaders met in emergency sessions, aware that Earth's survival depended on unity and preparation. The realization dawned that this was not a lone incident. Far from it. Oblivion Ark was part of a greater alien armada, still traveling across the void toward the solar system. The countdown that had ominously ticked away before the ship's destruction was likely just the first phase of a larger invasion plan. This new reality reshaped international policy. Countries once divided by politics and borders now worked together more closely than ever. Joint space defense programs were expanded, and new treaties established to share technology and intelligence. Militaries accelerated the development of space-based weaponry, defense satellites, and rapid response units ready to face extraterrestrial threats. Yet, with cooperation came unease. The recovered alien artifacts sparked a surge of scientific breakthroughs, but also fears about the unknown. Could these powerful devices be safely controlled? What if the alien technology was designed with hidden traps or fail-safes? The question lingered. Were humans ready for the consequences of wielding such power? Beyond the tangible, many people struggled with the psychological impact of the event. The knowledge that Earth was not alone, and that hostile forces were on their way, changed global consciousness. Religion, philosophy, and culture were challenged and evolved in response. Some embraced hope and unity, others descended into fear and paranoia. Conspiracy theories flourished, while governments maintained strict secrecy about ongoing alien-related research. Scientists and strategists focused intensely on preparing for the inevitable return of the alien armada. Space exploration programs intensified, looking not just outward but also seeking to fortify the solar system's defense. Plans were made to colonize the Moon and Mars as backup refuges, and research into faster-than-light travel accelerated, aiming to gather allies or resources from beyond the stars. But the biggest unanswered question remained. What exactly was the aliens' ultimate goal? Were they conquerors bent on enslaving or destroying humanity? Were they colonizers seeking to terraform Earth for their survival? Or was their mission something more complex and inscrutable? The wreckage of Oblivion Ark on the Moon stood as a silent monument to these questions. While Earth had survived its first contact and attack, it was clear that this was just the beginning of a larger cosmic story, one where humans were no longer alone, no longer the dominant species in the universe's vast expanse. Humanity's future would be defined by how it chose to respond, with fear, with courage, with unity, or division. But one truth was undeniable. The stars were no longer a distant dream. They were the stage for Earth's next great battle, its next great journey.